By the time this video is over, you may be screaming at your screen that I'm an idiot and I have no idea what I'm doing. And that's fine because it may be true. And if you think that, please do leave a comment down below saying that I'm an idiot and I have no idea what I'm doing, because I'm taking a huge risk in my reselling business. We do need to start at the beginning though, because you see, about a month ago, I got a letter in the mail from my storage unit company. And it basically says that the rent on my storage unit is going up from $230 to $280 a month, which I don't know about you guys, an extra $50 a month isn't cheap. But honestly, what could I do about it? I was kind of stuck. It was a 10 by 20 unit, 200 square foot, and it was full of inventory, basically all my inventory. And I couldn't exactly move that inventory in here as it was. There's not enough space. That was a 10 by 20. This is a 10 by 14 office. I was kind of stuck. But then I talked to my wife, who's like 10 times smarter than I am, and her solution was basically to just get rid of the storage unit. That $280 a month is a lot to pay. And at first I kind of looked at her like she was silly, because how am I going to fit all that stuff in here? I don't want to use my garage for storage because that's where we keep our personal stuff. The kids have their bikes. I do my woodworking out there, all that stuff. So how was I going to fit everything into this small office? Sounded kind of dumb when she said it. But like I said, she's a lot smarter than me, so I got to thinking that maybe she was right. So I had to come up with a plan. How am I going to downsize my inventory efficiently so that it will fit in here, but also maintain or even grow the amount of sales that I'm already doing? So my first step was to downsize. I needed to get rid of inventory so that I could fit it all in here. And I didn't want to just give it away. When I gave my storage facility notice that I was moving out, I believe I had about 18 days to get everything out of there. And I wanted to use that time to go through my eBay store, something I probably should have done a long time ago. So I actually went through every piece of my inventory and I got rid of stuff that had been listed forever, stuff that I knew was going to be slow sellers, and stuff that honestly I just wasn't excited about selling. Now, when I say I got rid of stuff, that doesn't mean I just threw it in the trash can. I did use kind of a system. Number one, I did give some stuff away. I gave some stuff to some reseller friends who seemed to be happy to have it. You're welcome, Jimmy and Shane. I also donated some stuff to Goodwill that should turn into a tax write-off. But I also sold a bunch of stuff. I sold all of my shoes in one big lot to another reseller who was happy to have them. I'm happy to get rid of them. Shoes aren't really something that I enjoy selling anymore. I also have been using Whatnot. I think I've sold over like 250 hats on Whatnot, along with some other stuff. It's actually been a great way to get rid of some things. Honestly, I'm not getting eBay top dollar, but it's a great way to move stuff fast. Overall, I think I've gone from like 1,400 listings all the way down to 579. And as you can tell, all that stuff is in here. I've actually got 2 racks in the back with bins. There's hard goods over here, clothing over here, and then random stuff on this shelf here. All of those are listed along with all these golf clubs. This shelf in the middle is actually stuff that I need to list. Even got my listing station in here along with all of my shipping supplies. Now, I can't do much shipping in here. Honestly, I do have to go to like the kitchen table, but either way, it's worked out pretty well. I've even got a couple boxes up here that I'm using to store stuff that's going to Whatnot in the next few weeks. And overall, it's been pretty nice. It's been about a month now since I moved out of my storage unit. Everything's right here. When something sells, I just grab it. I don't have to go to my storage unit. And honestly, I do kind of miss that, because going to the storage unit kind of helps separate work and home, but I'm also saving $280 a month. So I kind of think that makes it worth it. While not having to pay that $280 a month for storage is nice, I've also severely limited myself on space, which means I won't be able to buy as much, I won't be listing as much, and I won't be selling as much. So how the heck am I going to maintain the same level of sales? Now, unfortunately, I don't think there's some magic algorithm or secret formula that I can follow to make this happen. It's going to have to start with me and what I'm buying. I'm going to have to buy smarter and be more disciplined. In order to do that, when I'm out at thrift stores and garage sales, when it comes to picking items up, I'm going to have to focus on 3 different things. 1, how much space is it going to take up? 2, what is the sell-through rate? And 3, what's the profit margin? Also, 4, why am I in the car right now? Now, unfortunately, I don't think there's like a hard and fast rule for this. Like, I can't say everything that I buy has got to be below 12 cubic inches, has to have a profit margin of $30, and a sell-through rate of 14 days, something like that. I think it's going to have to be more on a case-by-case basis. For example, if I find something really tiny that has a good profit margin, but might take forever to sell, still might be worth picking up. I can throw it in a bin back here. If I find something that's huge, has a huge profit margin, but if the sell-through rate is like a day, probably worth picking up. But in order to show you some more real world examples, let's actually go to some thrift stores and I'll show you what I've been picking up lately and kind of the rationale behind it. First up is a small thrift store where I came across this golf bag.
All right, found something here. Got the Michelob Ultra stand bag with Callaway Razor X irons. Unfortunately, it's not a complete set. It's like the 5, 6, 8, and 9. But they will sell for like 30, 40 bucks a piece. Well worth the $15 they're asking for it. Pretty good find here. Michelob Ultra bag made by Callaway. There's comps on eBay at this thing, like 80, 90 bucks and up. I think I can at least get 50 for it. Paid 15 for everything, so that'll definitely pay for everything. The wood's here, not great. Chipping iron, not great. Other wood, not great. But got the Callaway Razor X irons. It's the 4, 5, 8, and 9, so I'm missing the 6, 7, and pitching wedge. So I have to sell these individually, which will definitely slow down the sale, but I'll end up getting probably $30 or $40 a piece for those. So that's what, $120, $50 for the bag, $170, gonna pay $15. Not too bad.
So for $15, I actually got 5 sellable items. That's $3 a piece if you're doing the math. I got the 4 Callaway Razor X golf clubs along with the golf bag. Now the clubs themselves don't actually take up a lot of space if you store them vertically. Not only that, they have a really good profit margin, 3 into about 35-ish. The problem though is they do have a little bit slower sell-through rate, but it checks off 2 of the 3 boxes, so I picked them up anyway. The bag is a little different. It does take up a lot of space. It is big and bulky, but for $3 into about 60 or 70, that's not too bad. Not to mention the sell-through rate was really good. I think there was like 5 listed and 11 had sold, so definitely worth picking up. Incidentally, I picked up all of these about 2 weeks ago, and everything is sold except for 1 golf club. Next up is this little boutique that's actually inside one of our local Goodwills. And I found this Patagonia jacket that actually checks off all the boxes. They want $14.99 for it. It should sell for between $70 and $80. That's a good profit margin. There's currently 1 listed, 3 have sold in that exact size and model, and it's packable, so it's not going to take up much space. I also picked up this pair of vintage Guess jeans that was actually new with tags. They obviously don't take up much space. They wanted $9.99 for them. There was comps in the $50 or $60 range, and the sell-through rate was okay. Looked like they were 11 listed, 9 had sold. But then I decided to go against everything that I just told you, and I bought this Polo shirt for $14 just because I thought it was cool. And the data certainly doesn't support my buying decision. I believe there was 5 or 6 listed and none had sold in the past 90 days. So I couldn't exactly calculate a profit margin, and the sell-through rate absolutely wasn't great. The good news is it didn't take up much space, so that was kind of good, I guess. So based on data, I probably shouldn't have bought it. I got lucky though. It sold in about a week for 75 bucks. I may have actually underpriced it. So it basically comes down to discipline. I've got to stay disciplined. I've got to only pick up higher value items to make up for the lack of space that I have for inventory. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking that you don't have the same thrift stores that I do, the same opportunities, and I certainly get that. It's definitely different here. We're certainly blessed. But let me tell you what I've noticed since I've been doing this. Since I've been a more picky buyer, I actually walk out of a lot of thrift stores empty-handed now, which kind of hurts, but it also means that I'm listing less and I'm shipping less, which equals more time, and that time equals more opportunity for me to go to these thrift stores and find more valuable items. Since I moved out of that storage unit, I'm actually thrifting 3 or 4 days a week now versus 1 or 2, and I'm actually finding those more valuable items. So it's kind of too soon to update you guys on how this new setup is going, how things are progressing on eBay. Maybe I'll do an update video later. But there's also something that I need to come clean about. Here's the part where you may call me an idiot. I should have been doing this a long time ago. I should have been managing my inventory better. Should have been updating stale listings. Should have gotten rid of stuff that didn't sell. Should have been a more picky buyer a long time ago. But honestly, I got complacent. I got lazy. Don't be like me. Run your business better than I do. At least maybe you can learn from my mistakes. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.